Well, with the trend of gray divorce rising in America, adult children of longtime married couples are often shocked and unprepared for the news that their parents are divorcing or separating after decades of marriage. And while we typically talk about how divorce affects young kids in the house, it can also be just as hard on adult children. Here with more on how to grieve and how to actually deal with process this situation with gray marriage is licensed marriage and family therapist Leticia Murphy. And Leticia, thank you so much for being with us, because this is a topic that a lot of people, you think about divorce and we say stay together for the kids. My parents got divorced when I was 25, so I can completely relate to this topic. It's kind of a different scenario.
Yes, and it's true. We do see a lot of people staying together, whether it's for children or for financial reasons, but we're also noticing that people are staying together or maybe breaking up at 18 when the kids are out of the home, or going off to college, or they're older adults. And what we like to say is you're never too old to grieve loss,
Sure.
especially if it's a divorce between your parents.
So that's okay to take the time, because even though it's not changing your day-to-day, household, it still is something that you didn't expect, right?
Absolutely. I think most of us have this vision that our parents are going to be together forever, that we'll have holidays and grandparents will be there for our children. And what we're seeing is that's not necessarily true. Sometimes people do stay and they break up and they feel a sense of freedom. Of course, as a marriage therapist, I always want marriages to work, but in reality, they do not always work.
Of course. And also, too, one thing you said is don't take sides. And this is true when you're an adult. You might be closer to your mom or your dad, but support them both, because they're also going through a transition at a later stage in their life.
Absolutely. It's so important not to side and to really support both parents. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to agree with them, but be supportive. And if you find yourself agreeing a little bit more or being against your other parent, I would suggest that you kind of maybe encourage them to talk to someone else.
Okay, yeah, maybe a little unbiased for third party. That's what, your profession is for, absolutely. Also, don't take on, and this could happen with friends or family members, take on their relationship problems into your own marriage, right?
Absolutely. Sometimes we'll see someone going through a difficult time and then we start to question our own relationship. So make sure that you're able to separate what's going on in their marriage and not apply it to yours.
And lastly, too, we've talked about this before, there is wonderful professional help out there. There is, this is 2014, there is no shame in saying I need some therapy, I need to talk to an unbiased third party. And even if you're an adult, and it's still a change, and it's okay to talk to somebody about how to grieve or how to kind of navigate through this.
Absolutely. All of us get overwhelmed or we experience sadness, and it's normal. It's not to be put to shame. Just go get the help that you need. You would never fear going to a physician.
Yeah.
You go when you're sick. It's the same thing. It's actually healthier.
I know. I think it's important information. And like you said, we talk about divorce so much being, staying together for the kids, but like I said, sometimes the parents get the kids raised out of the house, and then they feel like they don't have as much in common, and they just don't want to be together. And it's okay to support both, even if you don't agree with both, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
You love both parents.
Absolutely, for sure. Leticia, thank you so much.
Thank
I really appreciate
you for having
being here
me
today. Love that. Jason, over to you. Your parents, now, they divorced when you were a child, right?
I was 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're like best friends.
Aw,
it's
that's
great. Yeah,
great.
it worked out really well. Yeah.